Well, we know the price of electricity is way too high, and everybody's feeling that, particularly after the super cold snap in December, January, which had an impact on prices. So, look, we'll keep an open mind. There is $250 million in the budget set aside as a contingency to address issues about utility costs for consumers. At the end of the day, if we have the taxpayer pay those costs, it's a shell game. It moves the cost from the consumer ratepayer to the taxpayer. The same person ends up paying at the end of the day. The deeper problem is a whole bunch of mistakes that were made by previous governments that have given us these ridiculously high electricity prices. Previous government added about $4 or $5 billion in transmission costs that get passed on to consumers. Their carbon tax, and now Justin Trudeau's carbon tax, well, they want to triple that because they actually think that high electricity prices is a good thing. The NDP bungled their buyout of coal producers and ended up costing electricity consumers another $1.3 billion at minimum with the power purchasing agreement fiasco. And on top of that, their rush to shut down our most reliable and lowest cost form of power production in the coal generation plants has also massively increased prices. So you put all those things together, and it's the bad policy decisions of previous governments that have created these structural costs that are now getting passed on to each and every one of us. I wish we could go back in time and undo those irresponsible decisions. Unfortunately, we can't. So either now it's the ratepayer bears those costs or the taxpayer does. The good news is we're moving forward with the plan to reduce these costs in the long run. For example, we've had almost no spending on new transmission infrastructure since this government took office 2.5 years ago. As the economy grows, there will be more consumers, industrial and residential consumers, across whom we can share those distribution costs, so things will come down. But at the end of the day, the biggest cost driver here is going to be taxes, the carbon tax, the Trudeau carbon tax supported by Rachel Notley's NDP. We simply, as Canadians, need to stop them from tripling that tax, because if you think electricity prices are high now, hold on to your wallets, because they want to triple the single biggest cost driver on electricity prices, and there's no amount of action the government of Alberta could do to shelter people from that.